He's the fiercest man I've ever seen in the wilderness. A 6-foot-tall man. I cry like a pussy in front of him. The young woman saw him. I got my jaw dropped because this man is crazy. The first thing he does when he wakes up is drink and ran out like crazy. Ran to the edge of a 100-meter cliff and jumped. Hold your breath in water and meditate. Why is Thor the high guy? Forgive me for taking the wrong film. Our bald head is also a tough guy. He also jumped off a 100-meter cliff when he was drunk. Diving is just normal. I've never seen a tree jump before. The setting for this challenge is again the wilds of South Africa. First up is the bald guy who can't die. His name is Ken. His mother said if he dropped, "I'm not afraid to die." Of course, if you fall dead, you can have another one. Skinhead has a rating of 6.3. You're fierce, but you don't have any survival experience. The second contestant is Britt. She is a 38-year-old girl. She works as a wilderness survival instructor. It's basically taking the kids outdoors. He's got a great look, so he stayed single. Britt got a 6.2 as a wilderness survival coach. That's a point that would make her ancestors look up. The third contestant, Chad. He's 6 feet tall and he's mighty. He describes himself as a hunter and survival expert. It's just weekend fishing, actually. A little barbecue in the wilderness. All these high people have to do is have fun, if he says so. From the village, working on the land. Who isn't a land improvement engineer? The fourth contestant, Sarah. She came here like she was going home. Because Sarah is a returning contestant from last season, whether they survive or not. Let's just get in there. You don't just learn from it. Starve to death and drop out. If I don't get hungry, I'll hug my teammate's thigh and whine. This time they will split into 2 teams. After the 11th day, they were combined to complete the next challenge. It doesn't matter what the rules are. What matters is the big bonus. There are many thorns on the road. It's very easy to catch on your nipples when you walk. At this time, the construction is very anxious to see their partners, expecting the other half to be a hunk and a chick. When they met, and the other side is a woman, Sarah and Britt make a team. It's a lot less awkward when you're a girl. On the surface, he was happy. This is 2 girls over here. That must be the sausage party on the other side. Bald guy and Chad team up. It's awkward for 2 high people to mate. I don't dare go too close. If a large household gun is pointed at each other, it is dangerous. Judging by the strength of the 2 teams, the sausage pie has an edge over the girl combo. Bald guy brought an axe, and Chad brought fishing gear. In addition, there are heirloom iron pots and fire sticks prepared by the show team. Britt brought a machete over here with the girls, and Sarah brought a hunting bow. They need to hike to a destination 5 kilometers away for the challenge. There's a lot of serious planning going on at the sausage party, and the girls talking dirty. It's clear that young women still want to match hunky men. The girls chose a shady spot. They will come to the riverbed and live for 10 days. Water is scarce here, but it has many small animals. The sausage party chooses the lake on the map. There's plenty of fresh water and lots of catfish. Both teams are well equipped for the needs of the position. It's approaching winter in Africa. The temperature difference between day and night can be very large. Opening day. The players have to take care of themselves. On the way they walked and talked. 2 high people talking passionately. They saw leopard footprints on the ground. In fact, WeChat is around. The midday sun in Africa is very hot. 2 girls are sweaty from the roast. All the buffalo wanted to do was go up there. Soon they came to the water. They also found animal remains here. Looks very fresh. The bones might even be used in soup. If Gary were here, all the maggots on it, we're gonna roast them. They're looking around here. Find a suitable location for shelter. The sausage party is in the woods. It's very shady here, and there's a whole bunch of fucking black fresh water. 2 sausages of extreme excitement. Pick up the bones and howl. Girls team up, and they find a spot. It's very close to water, and cool enough. Sarah is very fond of this position. They pulled the grass from the ground. Britt is very afraid of the cold. She wanted to build a warm shelter. How does Sarah plan to build the shelter? The 2 men don't agree on anything anyway, because people think about different things. It's just selfishness. I just think about the things I care about. Sarah wants to surround herself, and Britt wants to put the roof up first. Maybe we should pull out our hair and fight. So much for the sausage party. The terrain is flat and shady. They soon worked out a plan and got to work. Sure enough, men do things decisively. Bald man soon lit the fire. Boil the water while you're at it. Then we'll build a shelter together. Clean and clean all the way. Sarah's still talking theory here. Girls can really talk all the time. Britt is cold and tired like an ox. Sarah just stood there and sulked. Anyway, she thought she'd put up the fence before the roof. Britt was too lazy to talk to her. Building a shelter on my own. Britt building the shelter doesn't affect Sarah building the fence. Why isn't it synchronized? There was a lot of conflict between the 2. Sarah's been giving theories. Britt just kept working. I doubt she has brains in her head. Sarah collected a lot of wood. She put the wood around her. It's a minute of work and 2 hours of theory, not with all the brambles around. Was she trying to use wood as a shelter fence? They built a fire pit, prepare a fire, and boil water. Britt knows what she wants, you know? I've been doing what's best for me. The first day went well for everyone on the whole, but I'm not used to it yet. Can't sleep at all. They heard a lot of animal noises nearby. There are predators outside the shelter. It's really dangerous without fire. Time to the next day. They drank water for breakfast in the morning, just sitting in the shelter blowing water. Nothing to prepare you for the rest of your life. Sausage party this way. They woke up ready to go fishing. They came to the shore in search of bait. Keep digging under the rocks. Found a lot of bait. Chad brought the hook. I think we'll catch a lot of fish here. He set up several fishing spots here. The location is good. It's up to the props team to release the fish. Britt's fixing up the shelter walls. She piled the wood into a shelter. Shape the wood into a semicircle, then spread leaves on top. In the middle is a fire for warmth. This method is without a doubt the most laborious. It also requires the most wood. You might as well just cut down a few thorns and use them around. But the result is really exquisite. Sarah is ready to start her hunting. She's planning on staking out her prey here. There's a constant hunt on this side of the sausage party. There are many fish in the water. I hope I can catch a fish on my hook. Chad saw a crocodile in the water. They were excited when they saw the crocodile. Bald guy's got 1,000 ways to do it. Chad was checking it out. I found a small fish. The fish may be small, but a successful hunt is something to be happy about. Chad turned to check on the other hooks. It turned out to be a small fish again. This is really unexpected. One for each of the 2 high guys. When they got back to the shelter, they started cooking. The small fish are fried on an iron pan. Britt was having sex at the shelter. 2 girls didn't get anything today. I'm so high, so bored, so lonely. Time came to the 3rd day. 2 high rollers got up early to check out their fishing gear. They actually caught a turtle. This turtle is very big, enough to feed 2 high people. The second hook caught a small fish. Hunting is so easy. Bald guy doesn't feel any pressure. Girl group this way. Sarah's out hunting this morning. She painted herself fucking black, here to watch for passing prey. Wild pigeons come nearby to drink. She stood up and drew her bow to scare away the pigeons. Every hunt failure. I talk about it for hours. My ears are dripping. Britt was hosting relatives at the shelter. My aunt came to visit her today with ketchup. It's not easy for her to hang out when relatives are here. It's easy to get gossiped about not treating relatives well. It's a different story here at the sausage party. They had a very good harvest today. Cooking food in the shelter. Bald guy collected some berries. Some strange rituals are performed before the meal. For a moment, I couldn't understand what these 2 high people were doing. Time came to the 4th day. Sarah came to this location to hunt again. But every time, it was a failure. Failure doesn't matter. 2 hours of experience first. Britt plays with fire at the shelter every day. Can't help it. You can't leave until you've had your period all day. Britt doesn't have much to entertain her relatives right now, does she? The atmosphere is so awkward. Menstruation is so kind. Spread ketchup when you see grass. Britt was helpless, too. Time came to the 5th day. Sarah goes hunting every day. She knew that now Britt was hosting relatives. Sarah had to finish the hunt alone. Paint your face a little darker. Maybe this will improve their own strength. There's actually a lot of prey around. It's just that Sarah's too good. Britt went to the stream to fetch water. She washes the ketchup while she's at it. It wasn't very pretty. I'm worried people will skip without traffic. Show everyone as much as you can about survival. Sarah is so bored out here hunting. I look bored, too. The time came to evening. Maybe that's why Britt took a shower today. In the evening, there was an accident. I'm a serious wilderness explainer. Don't know how to explain it for a while. Please, just give her a band-aid. It's all about stopping the bleeding, right? At midnight, it's still up at the sausage party. Ate a wild turtle today. No girls either. I can sleep with you. It was a little after 4 o'clock in the morning. They're still talking. It's up to you to try something this raw again. Time came to the 6th day. They didn't sleep after dawn. Get out of bed and find something to do. Otherwise, your teammates are in real danger. They came to the shore to inspect the fishing hooks. You got nothing today. That's a big difference. I'm so disappointed when I can't catch a fish. It's worse on the girl's side. Sarah goes out every day empty-handed. The other one just lay there for 7 or 8 days. It's only been 10 days. Your relatives were here for 7 or 8 days. What kind of life is that? A band-aid might help. Britt's in the shelter and the rock is keeping it warm. But for various reasons, I can only code it and not show it to everyone. If you really want to see it, just pick up a rock and put it on yourself. I'm a serious survival commentator anyway. Now they are desperate for food. It doesn't matter if you get food or not. Think about the day first. The time came to the 7th day. There's no hunting at the sausage party every day. The only source of protein is fishing. Chad couldn't sleep every night. Now he feels very tired. Didn't even bother to check the hook. Bald Man suspected that Chad had freed him. That's why I don't feel strong. He came to the shore to check the fishing rod, but there was nothing to be gained. Didn't the show any fish these days? Chad lay confused in the shelter. He felt that lack of sleep was killing him. It is difficult to sleep well in the wild. Soon the time came to the 9th day. Britt's relatives are finally gone. Now she felt empowered. She went outside in search of food. I want to contribute something to the team. Find some edible berries in the jungle. Luckily, she found it. Sarah still hunts here every day, but every day there was no food to hunt. Just a waste of time here. Good thing girls are hungry. This is berry soup today. It's these girls' first meal. Eat berries and leaves together. They were very happy to have something to eat. Because the day after tomorrow is the day of assembly, this berry soup is sure to give them strength. The sausage party is really looking forward to the merger. I want to know who it is. Basically, I'm just waiting for a girl. The time came to the 10th day. Chad woke up this morning very tired. He hasn't been able to sleep these days because his thigh was badly burned. Bald Guy is worried about Chad's health. I could have lost a teammate. Chad wasn't under a lot of stress. I didn't catch any fish today. They've run out of bait. Why don't you just keep digging? Chad is as weak as a high. Can't sleep at night. I don't sleep during the day. Chad the high guy is already under suspicion, wondering if he's really a high. Bald Guy was watching nearby, found a lot of rabbit holes in the ground. At the same time, I'm worried about Chad. Chad finally finds Bald to speak his mind. She began to cry before she could say the words. 6-foot big guy crying like a pussy in front of Bald Guy. Bald Guy already guessed what he was thinking. Eventually, Chad the high guy opted out of the competition, leaving the Bald Guy at a loss. Chad couldn't stand not sleeping every night. I think it's too much torture. Of course, Bald Guy's charm is also a pressure on him. If he doesn't leave early, Bald Guys will eat every girl they meet. It's awkward being a light bulb by yourself. Chad's departure is understandable because their physical condition is so different. Girls might flock to skinheads. To avoid embarrassment, might as well just go home. Girl group this way. Sarah is getting ready for tomorrow's hike. She is going to make a sunshade hat. These branches are very elastic. It's perfect for a hat. Britt's afraid of dying in the sun, so she made a hat too. Soon they made a hat. It looks very fashionable. Britt also has a lot of rope. I hope I can use it. Chad left his fishing line with Bald. We're going for a long hike tomorrow. Bald Guy goes to check the fishing hooks. I hope I catch some fish. When Bald Guy pulls up his fishing line, I found a fish. This is so lucky. There's enough fish for Bald Guy to eat. Catching a fish restored his confidence. When he pulled up the second fishing line, I didn't expect to catch a bigger catfish. This catfish weighs about 10 pounds. Enough to feed him for 2 days. It's a shame Chad dropped out today. Bald Guy gets all the good stuff. He thanked Chad for the hook. Bald Guy's gonna eat a little catfish. The big ones are left for the new team to share. He cut the catfish around and then just skewer it on a stick. Fish heads can be eaten in a stew. Why? This high guy doesn't eat fish heads. One catfish is enough to feed him. The meat is good enough. Time came to the 11th day. Today is evacuation day. He daubed his head with ash, mainly to protect them from the sun. And we're ready for the girl group. They set off early in the morning. Bald Guy bagged water-fresh catfish before he left. They need to hike 10 kilometers to reach the rendezvous point. The girl has packed everything and is on her way. Bald Guy's on the road, too. It's a little after 9 in the morning. They feel very hot and thirsty. Bald Guy is heavy with fish, and the food starts to spoil. I hope we can get together soon. For 3 hours straight. They haven't gotten there yet. And here I met a wild buffalo. Good thing Britt didn't have any ketchup on him. 2 girls locked eyes with the buffalo. The buffalo is a dangerous animal in Africa. They stand here afraid to move. The buffalo got bored and turned around. Scared the hell out of these 2 bitches. Soon they came to their destination. The sausage sees 2 mussels. They get excited. The young woman Sarah was the first to carry it. The 2 performed a simple match. Quite satisfied, apparently. The first thing you ask is how many toilets are in the house. The inner meaning is whether the house is big or not. Bald Guy says he lives in Norway with a lot of toilets. Pull and go green. A hole in the Norwegian forest. After pulling, the forest is thick with fat. I don't know anyone when I'm out there. Identity is self-given. If you want anything, just let me know. Okay. The other side doesn't know anyway. Bald Guy picked girl surprised. Don't get it wrong. It's just an alligator. Britt was as happy as a baboon to eat meat. They planned their next destination. 10 kilometers west of the original rendezvous point. There's a big puddle here. I've been walking all day, though very tired. Sarah full of men are thinking of Bald Brother. It's really scary when a young woman gets crazy. I think they're gonna bleed and dry. They soon came to the watering hole. Here's a shady spot, perfect for a shelter. A crocodile in the water caught their attention. Maybe we can catch alligators with catfish heads. What Bald Guy doesn't know is, 2 young women are worse than crocodiles. They build shelters together. This time there are no theories. Sarah's not in the mood for work. All I want to do is drain bald guy. Someone else is mowing the grass. While she sat in the shelter resting, at last it was time for dinner. Each of you is roasting a piece of catfish. The fish is roasted very well. It's gonna be a big night. They bake for a couple of hours. The meat is finally cooked. The happiest person is Sarah. The event lasts until after 1 o'clock in the evening. Sarah was finally content to lie down and rest. Time came to day 12. In the morning, they roast catfish for breakfast. The catfish is very fragrant. The girls can't stop eating. Bald guy brought the catfish. I raised these 2 girls, 2 women and a man in the wilderness. It's exciting to think about. Bald man came to the shore to fish. He was afraid the crocodile would destroy his hook, but fish still have to be caught. The rest of the hunt might have to be bareheaded, although very tired, but it's worth it to have 2 girls. The girls are perfecting the shelter. A couple of young women with a family. On the 13th day, Britt saw a crocodile in the river. Sarah saw it too. This crocodile is really big. Crocodiles are just good in the water. It's a mindless pig on the shore. The time came to the 14th day. Sarah came to the shore to set up a hunting spot. I don't care if this girl is a little darker, but all is not lost. At least she's active in the hunt. Hunting is another matter. At least she's not in the shelter waiting for bald guy to come back and talk. If she hunts a crocodile, the day of the roast and the bonus. Bald guy to check the hook. I didn't expect to catch a rock. Something's wrong with the props team. All 4 decoys are gone. He's looking for bait all over again. Sarah stayed here until the sun went down. No gain at all. The time came to day 15. They saw crocodiles not far from the shelter. This crocodile is really big. It's too bad these contestants are wimps. Turn around every time you see an alligator. Just take a bow and arrow and shoot it, or hit it with a rock. Sarah, you have such big boobs. Afraid of a crocodile. She smeared herself with mud to disguise himself in this way. I come here every day to hunt. Bald guy has been fishing for nothing here. He began to feel dizzy. Looks like it's getting bled dry by the chicks. At night, there's prey all around. Sarah hid in the shelter, afraid to make a sound. Time came to day 17. Bald guy found the gator next to the shelter this morning. Such a great hunting opportunity. Why don't you go catch this crocodile? 3 guys with a stick each. These hippies are so incompetent. No ability to eat grass. Girls can eat anything. Okay. Skinhead just wants to eat meat anyway. Britt's been very active these last few days. After all, the relatives have only been gone a few days. All she can think about is bald guy. The time came to day 18. Britt woke up one morning feeling unwell. The arm is very sore and soft. The muscles feel tingling. Bald guy works every day. He's the coolie on the team. No fish were caught. He's not motivated to do anything right now. Sarah went out hunting every day with no luck. Wild pigeons are abundant in the vicinity. She's just sitting here watching and not doing anything. Sarah wasn't even out hunting, just out to pass the time. The time came to day 19. Sarah lies down every day. Bald guy's about to be squeezed dry. Sarah's the only one still looking good. Sarah came to the shore to check the fishing hooks. The bait is still on the hook. Aren't there any fish in this spot? Maybe they were all eaten by crocodiles. Sarah rearranged the hook. I hope we catch some fish. Bald guy digging holes in the ground. Anyone who didn't know would think he wanted to shit. He was just looking for water. This is closer to the water hole. The Gary that can dig out of the water is very big, and the water here is filtered, although it looks dark. But as long as it doesn't kill you. Sarah's been fishing here. The crocodile was swimming about in the water. If it were just me, I'd have stoned it by now. Throw it once you see it. Sarah's fishing here. I never thought she'd catch a turtle. This is a tough guy. Turtle was up all night at the last sausage party. Sarah actually started crying when she caught the turtle. I'm starving to death and pretending to be a virgin. They're processing turtle meat on the shore. At night they roast turtles in the shelter. Eat this wild turtle. The beds are gonna break tonight. Bald guy is in danger tonight. I don't think anyone's gonna save him if he screams. Time came to day 21. Today is evacuation day. They were very happy. They drained me last night. Bald guy feels his legs go limp. When we get back, we get a $100,000 bonus. No matter how hard it is, no matter how tired it is, they had to hike 5 kilometers to the evacuation point. There were no surprises, right? Walked for 3 hours. At last, they reached their destination. So who else is going to be here next time? Look forward to an update in the next video.